You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
Happy Forever Day by Stephen Oram. Uncle Bill is the first to arrive. With the endless energy of a 16-year-old, he bursts into the room. "Party!" he screams. I wish he wouldn't. It's hard enough to celebrate your 53rd birthday every single year without having the added weight of trying to ignore the enthusiasm of your older uncle. I still haven't worked out what to call my ancestors who chose to stop aging at a younger age than I did. He's never going to grow up, and any experience he gains won't turn into wisdom because of the strange effects of renewing brain cells. But knowing he's never going to change doesn't make him any easier to be around. Next is Joanna, my 95-year-old granddaughter. "Grandpa," she says, giving me a beautifully wrapped present, "Happy Forever Day." "It's about time you chose yours," I reply. "You can't put it off forever." She lowers herself carefully onto the nearest chair. I know. "Well, I can put it off for as long as I live. Pass me a gin." I pour her a strong gin and tonic, just the way she likes it, and wait for the alcohol to work its way into her blood before returning to the perennial topic, her Forever Day. "It's not really fair on the rest of us, is it, my darling?" "Oh, for goodness sake, stop it. Think of all the knowledge I retain and the wisdom I'm accumulating. Why would I ever choose to lose that?" Because you're a health burden?" "Oh, I'm not that decrepit, you know. Quit fussing." "Joanna, why won't you choose?" "I would have stopped when menstruation ended and contraception became a thing of the past, but I like getting older. It makes me feel alive." Every year we have this conversation, since she turned 53 and overtook me. As time goes by, it's become easier and easier to think of her as my grandmother rather than the granddaughter she really is. And every year she respects me less. Uncle Bill bounds across the room and slaps me on the back. "Forever is a long time," he says. "It's a really long time, so let's enjoy." He glances down at Joanna and opens his mouth to speak, but stops himself. There's never been a good conversation between them. They are definitely not the sort of opposites that attract. He hovers, balancing on one foot, then the other, his eyes pretending to scan the room. Joanna stands up. It's painful to watch her body coping with old age. It's why most people avoid her. That and the fact that she plays the cantankerous old woman a little too well. Thankfully, she's fairly straight with me. "I'll leave you young'uns to it," she says, and raises her glass. "Happy Forever Day." Uncle Bill leans in close. "It's not right, is it?" he whispers. "What?" I ask. "Her. That great-great-niece of mine, she shouldn't keep aging. We'll have to pay for her medical bills. It's so embarrassing having an ancient. Not to mention the shame of a funeral if she lets it get that far." He's got a point, but it's a clumsy way of expressing it. Immature. I like to think I hold my head up high and support everyone's choice no matter what they choose, but he's right. I don't. None of us do. He takes a small round container from his jacket pocket. It can't be. Can it? He wouldn't. Would he? He sees me looking and winks. "The clinic," he says. "If she won't choose her date, I'll choose it for her." "No." But he's gone, weaving between the guests, heading toward Joanna. I can't quite make it out, but I'm sure he slips something from his container into her gin as he passes by. She lifts her glass from the table, swallows the last mouthful, and begins to sway. As she faints, Uncle Bill steps forward, grabs her under the armpits, and helps her outside.
We hope you enjoyed Happy Forever Day by Stephen Oram, read by Rob Gillespie. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, A link to our submission guidelines is in the description. This story is copyrighted 2020 by the Centropic Oracle.